Hi there, my name is Cormac Rogan and I'll be briefly running through the Logit model, or the logistic model as it is also known, using both Excel and also running through our results with the OR application. First off, logistic regression can in many ways be seen as similar to ordinary regression. However, there can be many variables used with logit regression. The relationship between the y variable, in this case default, and the other variables, in this case working capital divided by total assets, retained earnings divided by total assets, EBIT, which is earnings before interest and tax divided by total assets, market value of equity divided by total liabilities, and the last X type variable is sales divided by total assets. The key point here for Logit model is that logistic regression measures the probability of an event occurring, in this case the probability of default. With Logit you either get a probability of 1, in this case that a default would take place, or you'll get a probability of 0, in which case a default will not take place. And if we just look here at column D, we have many zeros, which means that default will not be taking place. And the further we scroll down, after maybe around the 4,000 tabs, we begin to see some ones here, which means that default will take place down at these levels, taking into account the variables. So when we ran the test through Excel, we came up with the following coefficients. Minus 2.5435 is the constant, 0.4144 is sales over TA, and again I can talk you through them, but we also have them here. And with our output with OR, which is an econometric model, we have slightly different results, and this is due to OR, the output in OR being a econometric software device. So one would trust the results from OR more than they would for Excel, because Excel it's not an econometric software tool. So the data put through OR would give us slightly better results than the data when put through Excel. And also there may be rounding issues. For instance, we have minus 2.5508 here, we have minus 2.5435. Excel may be rounding up our inputs here, and OR may also be rounding in a different way using our inputs over here on the left hand side. We can also see on columns S and T the Excel default probability and the OR default probability. The difference again between the two models is very minimal, and this is due to, again, different software packages, one being a purely econometric based software package, i.e. OR, and one being a Microsoft Office tool, and that's Excel. We can see here that we use Logit regression on Excel, equals Logit, and then we can see, if I move the screen over to the left, what the inputs are. With our single variable, our dependent variable, which is default, the probability of default, and also the rest of our variables, which would be, as mentioned earlier, columns E to I. So we can see that default is a lot less likely to occur in the vast majority of cases, up to 4,000 non-defaults, and we have a very minimal amount of defaults, which are denoted by the 1, perhaps less than 100 out of over 4,000 samples. So we can see that from our data here, default is not very probable.